Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of The Report Card in collaboration with Ambitious Image. I'm your host, Ambitious Ace.
Damn Diddy.
And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to see some more movie reviews. Today, we're reviewing the documentary based off of Chris Brown titled Welcome to My Life.
Yeah, man. And I don't even know why I got my laptop open because there's not a lot of actors in this show.
Yeah, pretty much based on real people. So, what you think, man?
Man, well, first and foremost, you know, what everybody's talking about, Chris Brown recounting, going over the incident with Rihanna.
The major selling point of this film.
Yeah, and I feel like he was really, you know, don't get too much in your, you know, in your feelings, but I feel like he was being honest.
Right.
It was clear he was holding back tears. It was clear that just talking about it still hurt him.
Right.
And I believe him when he apologized and he said he felt like a monster and the whole fighting incident and everything. The only thing I kind of want to hear from Rihanna about her side is kind of like, was she really mad about some girl that he supposedly messed with beforehand? Because everything he talked about, it was some foul shit.
Yeah.
Hands down, there's nothing that needs to be said about that. You should never put your hands on a woman. But aside from that, man, I feel like he's grown. How do you feel about like him speaking about that incident?
You know, I'll have to admit, like when the whole thing happened and over the years as an artist, I think I kind of judged him a little bit. I'll admit to saying that. But after watching this, it kind of has gotten me to get over that because, you know, everybody's human. Everybody makes mistakes. But it's just about his sincerity he had throughout the whole documentary about what he did. And I didn't feel like he tried to cover up anything. Like, you know, he was blatantly honest about everything. And I didn't feel like he had to sugarcoat anything. I mean, he's honest through his music and everything like that. And as a person, he's honest as well. So I thought that was real cool to get a platform for him to actually open up about it after all this time. You know, he's had time to grow and develop as an artist and as a person. So I thought it was really cool to see that progress, you know, because I've been a fan of him since day one. And just looking back through Yo to now, it's just crazy to see the evolution of an artist like Chris Brown. And, you know, a lot of like, you know, people in my family who are older than me had, you know, Michael Jackson. We got Chris Brown. So it's...
Hey, whoa, bro.
What? What?
We gonna act like Usher didn't exist?
Well, I'm not saying Usher didn't, but on the magnitude of Chris Brown, I prefer Chris Brown more than Usher.
I don't want to get into that full-fledged discussion.
I know,
about
but
this.
I'm
just saying, because you made it. You can't just skip.
Because
when
I think about Michael Jackson, when I think about Chris Brown, I think about Michael Jackson. I don't think about Usher. I just have to be honest. That's just me. I know a lot of people might disagree with that.
Man, we pull out Usher's catalog, man. You might have to reconsider that.
But it's not nothing.
One whack album where he went the super pop route. He tried to go to pop shit. But
yeah,
Usher don't do that shit again.
Well, I think in overall, as an overall performer, maybe it's just my taste. I prefer Chris Brown more, but I still do love Usher as an artist.
Chris Brown's more of a dancer.
Yeah.
But I got money on Marion could outdance. That's just me.
Yeah.
But before we get off of the whole thing about Rihanna, like, I just remember being in Virginia, whack ass Virginia, by the way. I don't give a fuck if you're from there or not. Where he did the performance, and I don't know if you remember, it was like not too long after that happened, Michael Jackson passed, and then everybody was pretty much like they said in the documentary, like they had a Michael Jackson dedication performance, but it wasn't a real performance until you saw Chris Brown do it.
Right.
And I remember him doing, you know, what song is that? I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel Man in the Mirror. And he did Man in the Mirror, and he had a really, and I think they showed it. They showed him having a hard time performing it.
Yep, I remember that.
And I remember being in Virginia, and like, you know, that's his home state. You know, he's from Tappahannock, and people were like, "Yo, he's faking."
Why was he faking?
Man, I have no clue, man.
I don't understand why people would think he would be faking, because I mean that was somebody that he idolized.
Yeah.
That was somebody they looked up, like he damn near did his whole choreography, like, you know. I mean, I don't understand that. Maybe it's just people from the home state, like you said, but
It was
I took
pure
that,
hate, man.
I mean, I took that as, you know, a homage to Michael Jackson, but actually the same thing at the same time what he was going through as a person. So it was just a whole bunch of emotions running through him, and that song, Michael Jackson, everything made him think about that. So
But when it comes to that song, when you actually listen to the lyrics in that song,
Right.
it means so much.
right,
And it's so deep that I can't doubt that that's how he really felt at that time.
right, right.
But aside from that, though, like just going back and hearing what his mom had to say,
Yeah.
and hear what his aunt had to say, basically about the start of his career and stuff, that was real interesting to me, man.
Yeah.
'Cause I've never heard.
I
any of
never
those
have
stories
either.
before.
I never heard that the scouting guy was looking for talent, went to the gas station, talked to his father and everything like that. I never knew that. He said he started as early as 13?
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I didn't know that. So yeah, the movie definitely touched on a lot of like things that, you know, as a fan I didn't know about, you know. Well, I'm not, you know, team Breezy or all
Yeah.
that, you know, they might know every detail, but as a fan like me, I didn't know those. I did not.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask me, man, Chris Brown has been pretty consistent musically. Like, he
Yeah.
only has one whack album to me, and that's Graffiti. And
Okay.
and that was the album that dropped right after the Rihanna incident happened,
Right.
and everybody pretty much blackballed him for that.
Yeah.
And, you know, rightfully so, but the album was trash for real.
Right.
It wasn't like it was just a thing. But he sure did recover from that, because after that, and he didn't say it in the documentary, but if you look at the credits, you'll know, like, you know, he went and he did the mixtape, A Fan of a Fan with Tiger.
Yeah, yeah.
And he got with Kevin McCall. And him and Kevin McCall, and I know him and Kevin McCall don't get along anymore, but they
Right.
wrote Deuces.
Right,
They
right.
wrote No BS.
Yep.
And they wrote one more song that was big off of that project for Chris too.
Off of Fame?
Yeah, no, off of A Fan of a
Oh,
Fan.
the Fan of a Fan.
Yeah, and those songs
Okay.
ended up being on Fame. And
Trying to remember which one.
yeah, and that was the only thing I didn't like, cause I understand you and Kevin McCall don't get along, but he helped put you back on the map.
Yeah.
And I just didn't like the fact that he acted, you know, he didn't mention him.
I mean, they showed him in the movie.
They showed Kevin McCall?
Yeah.
Oh, I
they
didn't
showed
even
him-
notice that.
It was, I forgot what video it was. It was one of the video shoots he had. I forgot which one. But how'd you feel about how they included all, you know, the celebrities and everything like that?
Everybody was cool.
Except.
I don't want to say except.
Okay,
I just want to say Khaled, man. Like, when you get Khaled to talk about somebody, he
He's
makes
so-
it seem. Yeah,
He's so profound. He's like, his life.
look. The
I
dude
knew.
is a market. Khaled is a marketing genius.
Yeah.
because everything he says it like he's trying to sell it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, you know, I just felt like he was just gonna just say, "Yo, I'm so blessed to know Chris." Like I just felt like that's what he was gonna say. I mean, he never hit us with that,
Yeah.
but that's how Khaled talks.
Yeah.
And he ain't been talking like that forever, man. Y'all go back and y'all watch his old interviews and stuff like that. He used to talk pretty fast.
Yeah.
Now he talks super slow. Like, if you know him and Ross, they talk alike.
Yeah.
They talk really slow. They emphasize certain words. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's just the new thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, everybody had a pretty cool perspective on Chris. You know,
I enjoyed Usher's perspective.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool. Like how he was like, you know, he was the first person he talked to. I didn't know that. You know, he was about to sign his deal and everything like that. And it really shed light about how much involvement Usher had, you know, in his life as well, other than, you know, just the influence of Michael
You didn't
Jackson.
think of herpes when you saw that?
No, man. I was thinking of
I'm
Usher.
sorry,
man.
I did. Even though I know he probably don't get that shit.
Nah,
I'm sorry.
I was
It's
thinking
just-
about all the, you know, the advice he was giving them. You know, it was true, profound advice he could give somebody like Chris Brown at the time, and I thought that was really cool. I like how Jamie Foxx tuned in and everything like that.
I thought Jamie gave him some cool advice
Yeah,
too.
yeah, and I thought it was also a nice perspective from I forget how to pronounce her name, Rita.
Rito, right?
Yeah, it was a nice perspective from her coming in too. So it was cool.
Yeah, I
real
didn't even
cool.
know she knew Chris that well.
Yeah, me too.
And I felt like they brought Mike in just because Mike's kind of been through the same thing.
Right.
So that was pretty much where he came in. And, you know, Mary, she's pretty consistent with saying cool stuff. So I was cool with everybody. And I love the kicker at the end where you find out this whole time he's been drawing that picture of him and his daughter, Royalty.
Yeah.
And that was cool.
I love how it was shot. You know, they didn't just really do it in an interview manner where it's just, you know, him and the camera. I love the old school TVs they use for like all the old footage and stuff like that. I love how every time it was a shot of him, it was him painting or something like that. It kept you in tune and invested in it. So the director and everybody did a great job of making it look very unique and authentic. And it goes along with Chris Brown's style. You know, he's a very artistic person. So I think that helped convey his emotions, because like I don't know if you noticed how the scene changed when he went to talking about Rihanna.
Yeah.
He went into that room and sat down like, all right, this is
It was like a dark room to get something dark out,
right,
type thing.
Yeah. So I thought that was very appropriate, and I loved how they do that.
Yeah, man. And I just really appreciate everything we saw, and I felt like he really did grow and learn from that experience. Because like you said, everybody's human. People like to put celebrities on a higher pedestal than they really deserve to be, or even probably don't even want to be at.
Right.
You know, because they're still normal people, just like you and me. They just have money.
Yeah.
And celebrity fame, which can go away at any
Right.
given moment.
Right.
But man, Chris, he seems like he's learned a lot from the incident. He seems like he's grown a lot from the incident. And man, I'm happy for him, and I want to hear what he's got cooking, man.
I mean, he shows no sign of stopping, and that's the most important thing. Anybody who goes through something like that, they might not have the willingness to even continue living life, you know, after something like that. But he's been through trials and tribulations, but he's still pushing, man.
Why the fuck was J-Lo on there, man?
Good question.
Did you care to hear anything J-Lo has to say?
Not really.
No shade. I'm just asking.
I don't know if she has anything.
After she left Puff out the drive, never trusted her. You know,
you sound like you about to get into a whole other story.
I'm just saying, some shooting went off in the club. Would you just stop fucking with the nigga altogether? Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care to hear what you got to say. And then you only come back to get a hit from Ja Rule, and you go back to pop.
So what you give the movie, man, overall?
I give it a B+, man. I liked it. Like you said, I liked the way it was shot. It was great. It was informative, and I felt bad for Chris at times. I felt bad for Rihanna for times. I felt bad for Karrueche.
Yeah.
You know, listening to him speak about what happened with Karrueche and stuff like that. But overall, man, it seems like Chris is in a good place. I understand this is what documentaries like that are meant to they're designed to do, to make you feel like the artist is in a better place than they may be in. But I really hope he's in that spot that he showed us in.
Well, this was filmed during 2015, correct?
Yeah. So that was before the incident with the white girls that touched the jury at his house.
Yeah. Well, it seems like a lot of people are trying to attack his character, man. And you know, I feel like that's happening a lot right now with black celebrities, period. A lot of people are trying to destroy images, man.
Oh yeah, they'll try to destroy your career. I mean, look, Charlie Sheen came out and said he was giving girls AIDS. You know what I'm saying? They haven't proved that Usher actually gave anybody anything, and they're trying to destroy that man. They didn't even try to destroy Charlie Sheen. They put him on TV to do an interview to talk about how he gave people AIDS.
Right.
Like what fucking part of the game is that, man?
Yeah.
That shit is whack.
And that's why
Fuck Charlie Sheen. He was funny when he talks though.
I gave it an A because I thought it was just an honest, open talk, and you know we don't get to see that much with people like these. And I thought it was appropriate because it didn't come out right after it happened. It took time to come out. He didn't just do this 2-3 years after it happened. No, waited about damn near 10 some years, right?
Yeah.
So I thought it was very appropriate, and it actually had enough footage and information to actually go into what he has done, his growth as a person and an artist. You got to see all his trials and everything like that, and just all his emotions. So I thought it was a well put together project.
Yeah, man, I agree with you 100%, man. Yo, if y'all think, you know, how do you feel about the Chris Brown thing, man? How do you feel about the documentary? If you saw it, how do you feel about what he said about Rihanna? Carucci. You know, just tell us in the conversation, man.
Yeah.
In the comments, man. Get the conversation going.
And do you think that, Chris Brown's going to show any signs of stopping, or is he going to keep on going? Let us know what you think. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And we'll bring out some more reviews coming up.
Yeah, man.
All right. Peace.
Peace.